This Archive of Teaching Resources tutorial will show you how to submit an item to the archive. First, make sure that you're logged into the archive. You will know if you are if on this left-hand side under My APS Archive it says Welcome and your name. To submit to the archive, mouse over Submit to the Archive in the menu and click on Submit a Teaching Resource. You now have the option of which partner you would like to submit your teaching resource to. Your options may change over time, and if you have any questions on which partner to choose, you can click on this How Do I Choose link. For this example, we're going to submit to the American Physiological Society. Now we've reached the steps to submitting a teaching resource. The first step is just the main information of your resource. You want to put in the title of your teaching resource, select the day that it was developed, enter a description, describe how this resource might be used in your classroom or how it might be used for an activity. Select if the user will be charged to download, view, or use this teaching resource. Select if there are any additional restrictions to the usage of this teaching resource, and then select the appropriate grade levels that apply for this resource. Once you have entered in all of these fields, click on Save and complete Step 1. This will bring you to Step 2, Disciplines, and this is where you choose the discipline that directly applies to your teaching resource. If you cannot find the discipline that you're looking for in this upper box, you can click on this plus icon here to see all additional disciplines that are available to you. Once you have selected your discipline, click on Save and complete Step 2. This brings you to Step 3, Keywords. Keywords are basically something that describes your resource or is essential to your resource. Keywords are up to you, but you must have at least one keyword to add. Make sure that you type in your keyword correctly, and you can separate multiple keywords using commas. Once you've entered in your keyword, click on Save and complete Step 3. The next section is language. You can choose which language your teaching resource is in, any cultural aspects that it may have, for example, if it addresses a specific culture or a specific historical era. And you can also select if a specific foundation funded your teaching resource creation. Once you've selected the options that apply to your teaching resource, click on Save and complete Step 4. Step 5 is contributors. This is where you add who is the author of your teaching resource. You can go ahead and search for yourself if you have submitted to the archive before, or you can go ahead and enter in you can add yourself or you can add someone else. This Add Yourself feature will only work if you've completed your profile. So in this case, I'm just going to click on Add Yourself. Now my first name and last name and my institution have automatically been added, and all I need to do is click on have been added, and now I need to add in my additional information. The reason why we ask for this information is just in case someone needs to get in touch with you as the author of a resource. Once you have completed all of the fields, click on Add First Author. This will automatically add you as the first author and will add you as a publisher of this teaching resource. Since you are submitting this teaching resource, you are the publisher, and so this is correct. You can also choose to add any other contributors to the teaching resource. All you have to do is type in a name, search and see if they've submitted to the archive before. If they have, and if you see them in the list here, you can pick their role if they were an author, contributor, editor, contact, or other. The other option is if you do not see the person that you want to add as an author or contributor to this teaching resource, you can click on Add Someone Else, and that will give you the ability to add their contact information. Once you have added in all of the authors for your resource, go ahead and click on Save and complete Step 5. Step 6 is all the educational aspects of your teaching resource. You will click on who would use this teaching resource, whether a teacher, learner, manager, or other. If it is an other, please specify. Then select what the difficulty level is for your teaching resource, if it's at grade or age level, if it's an honors AP item, or if it's a Learning Center undergrade level item, or considerably above. Most items will fall into the at grade and age level category. The next thing you should do is select the typical learning time needed for this teaching resource. Most items in the archive do go less than 1 hour or 2 or 3 hours. Next, you can select what type of teaching resource it is that you're submitting. We have items that are multimedia, for example, audio or video, classroom items such as assessments, lessons plans, tutorials, reading room items such as maybe a book or a report, reference rooms items such as a bibliography, a review, or perhaps scientific standards and guidelines. Just choose the one or two that best apply to your resource. Next, you're going to select the teaching methods and pedagogy terms that describe your teaching resource. We have broad teaching strategies such as active learning, critical analysis, large group instruction. And we have additional teaching strategies such as block time teaching, laboratory experiment learning centers, use of instructional technology, authentic and alternative assessment, test and testing, and grading. Again, select any of these items that apply directly to your resource. It's okay to select more than one. You can select as many as you need to describe your resource accurately. Once you've selected at least one item from each category, which is the Select Teaching Methods Pedagogy category and the Type of Teaching Resource category, go ahead and click on Save and Complete Step 6. Step 7 is the standard section. This will only come up if your item applies to a K-12, the K-12 level, in which case the National Science Education Standards will appear, or if it applies to the graduate level, in which the APS ACDP Physiology Medical Learning Objectives will appear. If the objectives do appear, please select the ones that best apply to your resource and click on Continue to Step 8. Now this is the section where you go ahead and upload your resource. What you're going to do is you either can click on URL if your resource is on a website, and you can enter in the URL and click on Submit URL. Or you can upload a file directly from your computer. In this case, we're going to upload a file from our computer. Click next to File Upload and click on Browse. And now we're going to go ahead and look for the item that we want to submit. You can go wherever you need to in your computer to find the item that you want to upload to the archive. In this case, we're going to use My Teaching Resource. So go ahead and click on the file name and click on Open. Once you've selected the file, make sure to click on Submit File, and it will say right here what type of resource your item is, whether it's a Word document, PDF, PowerPoint, etc. If there's any special technical requirements that are needed for accessing your teaching resource, such as a zip file, any special software or hardware requirements, please list them in this box right down here. Once you have uploaded your file or your URL, click on Save and Complete Step 8. Now you get to Step 9, which is Review. At this point, you can go ahead and submit your item to the archive for review. You can also choose if you want to withdraw your resource. The other option as well is perhaps you've gone to Step 6 and then you get busy and decide that you'll have to come back and finish your submission another day. If that's okay, if that happens, go ahead and make sure that you click on the Save and Complete button at the bottom of the last step that you finish. Then the next time that you visit the archive at the home page, you will see on this left-hand side under your name when you're logged in, it will say that you have an incomplete submission. Click on that link, and that will bring you to the submissions that you are currently working on. In order to work on editing these submissions, go ahead and click on the title, name of it, and that will bring you to the submission that you were working on. Again, Once you're ready to submit your finished product to the archive, go ahead and click on Step 9 Review and click on Submit and Finish to the archive. If you ever have any questions about the submission process, just mouse over About the Archive, click on Contact Us to bring you to the contact form, and enter in your question and click on Submit Form, and someone from the APS archive will help you. Thank you for listening to this tutorial.